Warning, brave adventurer. This episode of Echoes of Honor may contain adult language or adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everybody. Hello there, welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to see your gorgeous faces once again. We are here, we are playing the premier Cosmere RPG series, Echoes of Honor, set in the Stormlight Archive universe. And it is 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. It's wonderful to see you all again. We are super excited to be back. Hope you guys had a really good time off. For those of you who had time off, I hope for those of you who didn't have time off, you got the sweet, sweet holiday pay, which you very well deserved if you had to work over the Christmas break. We have almost everybody here tonight ready to rock and roll. We do have, as we jump into the session, a little bit of sad news. Unfortunately, Josh, who has just joined the Twitch chat, is unable to join us for Cosmere tonight and for the foreseeable future. Josh got a new job. Massive congratulations. However, it is at the time that we stream Cosmere. So big thumbs down and boo to Josh. Although I just want to point out that if he is in Twitch chat, clearly he is working very hard.
We're working really hard.
Yeah. Josh, come on, man. What is this? No, congrats on the new job. Boo for ditching us. I mean, look, clearly not satisfied with Brexit. He's now done Cosmere exit. So see you later, Brit. We'll catch you when you're free. Very, very stoked that you got a new job, but also really sad. We'll miss you greatly. Hopefully you'll be able to jump in and join us soon. If there's when we have some special jump backs to Curse of Strahd, I know you said you're really keen to jump in for an occasional one shot. I'll give you plenty of notice. I'll be really excited to have you back, and I'll make sure everyone knows that you're there. So it'll be really fun. Alrighty. I don't have any other crazy fun news to share before we start. Actually, quick shout out. Victoria is currently on fire once again. This is now becoming these once in 100-year fires. I feel like they're happening a lot sooner than 100 years.
They're biannually now.
Did it get to 50? Did I see that correctly? 50 degrees Celsius in Victoria over the weekend?
Australia was the hottest place on Earth for a couple of days there.
It was, I think we got to, in and around here, it got to about 46, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So just for context, Queensland rarely gets above 32. So every time I hear Victorians saying, oh, but Queensland's so hot, I just want you to hear back that and realize how wrong you are.
But we also have an ocean's worth of humidity above our head blanketing in the heat.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't tell the difference because I'm so sweaty. I produce my own humidity.
50 and hot over 35 and humid any day.
Really?
It's very dry.
You can always drink enough. Am I water to fix that? You can't drink enough water to fix the humidity. You're just unhappy.
I have a solution, but I don't want to say it because I'm gonna get bullied again if I mention it again. So there's one way you could avoid the humidity.
Fair thought to my poor garden that just not having a good time.
Yeah, gardens don't love it.
Yeah, no, not really. No,
it does not have what plants.
Quite a bit.
No. But I hope
2 weeks earlier it was like 12 degrees.
Yeah. I was there for Christmas. It was 17. It was freezing.
It decides one day it's going to be super fucking hot, and then
So congratulations, hottest place on Earth. You beat literal deserts.
That's incredible. I hope everyone is safe. I know there's been a few homes that have been lost. I don't think any lives have been lost yet, which is a bloody miracle. I haven't kept up with the reporting. I'll be honest.
Why do you say yet, Owen? Why is that a yet?
As far as I'm aware, rather than a yet, then. Just because I know the average Australian, and the average Australian sees a fire and goes, yeah, I could take that out, mate. A garden hose, it all protects me home.
True. There's about 4 separate fires happening at the moment, I think, around the state.
The one near Shepparton was kind of spooky. I saw some footage of that and I was like, wow, that's a decent blaze.
Yeah.
I think it's taking up most of the, what's that mountain that's around there?
Something like that. I don't know. I think there's been about 50 properties lost. So there's quite a few. But,
that is absolutely devastating. That sucks so much. Please be safe. Please do not, if there's alerts to leave. Don't try and tackle the fire yourself. We've got a really awesome fire department. The Victorian Fire Service are incredible. Their choppers are doing regular runs. Just, stay safe, guys. For those of you who are in Victoria, stay safe. 100%. And I think we should probably jump into the session with that. I've got a full recap because it has been a hot minute. I think it's been about a month since we last played. So I've got a full recap ready to get us in. I'll obviously be playing Gark, Josh's character, tonight. We may have some exciting news regarding players joining us to step in and fill that slot, but I'll keep that all for the future, that news. So, unless we've got anything else fun to share before we start? No, everyone's looking happy. Sweet. Let me do the recap. Let us jump into the session. Previously, our story has been following the survivors of a brutal attack on a Bethab caravan heading from Alethkar to the Shattered Plains. Gark, Neivien, Rav-eth, Alaran, Ztar, and Hula have found themselves embroiled in the political machinations of the Aelthi from the moment they arrived at the war camps, drawn into investigating a deeper conspiracy involving House Thanadel. Having warned High Prince Bethab's chief scribe, Brightlady Dala, of the plight of the caravan, and having investigated Bright Lord Rezi, the shardbearer suspected of attacking the caravan, the group readied themselves to settle in for a good night's sleep. However, this was not to be. Ztar's astute hearing warning the team of the presence of assassins moments before they were ambushed. Fending off the black-cloaked figures, the team worked to take them prisoner while also drawing the attention of the Bethab soldiers. Despite taking some wounds, the group was successful in capturing 3 of their attackers, one able to escape their grasp. Moments after, Bethab soldiers and Bright Lord Peligan, older brother to Brightlady Dala, arrived at the room, soon taking charge of the situation and the captured assassins. After a restless night's sleep, the party awoke to find themselves taken aside by Dala and Peligan to be interrogated. The presence of the assassins and the story the team had told them about the attack on the caravan now looking far more suspicious. After attempts to try and keep the presence of a shardbearer during the attack and the role of Bright Lady Ralanat in the ambush secret, Rav-eth finally caved. With the revelation that Dala had already known about the shardbearer from the soldiers who retrieved Rav-eth and Mickey, the team finally opened up and started being honest with her. Revealing their suspicions concerning Ralanat and the shardbearer, the interview was concluded. The trust between the group and Dala partially repaired. Unsure of who to trust, the team were tasked by Dala and Peligan to investigate the attack further. Alaran and Neivien appointed as examiners for High Prince Bethab, with the others as their official retinue. We left off last session with the team planning on travelling to the outer market to meet the returning survivors from the caravan attack before interrogating the captured assassins. So, that is where we left off last session. You are all currently still in the accommodation, the abandoned, or not abandoned, but the empty barracks that have been set aside, the victims of attacks against the Parshendi, soldiers having lost their lives. These barracks now empty and open for you to use. We left off last session with you guys having just had a big chat with Bright Lady Dala and her brother Peligan, the High Marshal, going through all of the information, not wanting to share things, but then Rav-eth finally kind of giving in and saying, yeah, no, there was a shardbearer there. And her response, of course, being, well, I knew that. Why weren't you telling me that? A bit of back and forth, and then finally agreeing to work together. Alaran and Neivien were both a little bit suspicious of Bright Lady Dala. I think, given the situation and circumstances, you're carrying that suspicion forwards. But for the moment, it looks like an alliance has been formed of sorts. And the other thing of note as well to remember that Harrison might not remember, with Ztar, Peligan had showed a bit of interest in Ztar during the conversation, and also asked what name you would prefer to be called, Ztar, when you spoke up. There'd been a moment where there'd been a conversation, someone had referenced you by name, and you'd said that was the name my masters gave me. Peligan sort of took you aside and asked if there was a name you'd prefer to be known by. You played it off. You parchmented out of that situation, looking dull and not really knowing what was going on. But I just thought I'd remind you, because that probably would have been a very notable thing that would still be on Ztar's mind even now. So, we jump straight back in. Peligan and Dala departing from the barracks, soldiers outside, the room still in a state of disarray. The hallway, which you are currently standing around and seated in, there are overturned chairs, tables that have been knocked aside, spheres have been knocked from the lanterns, stormlight no longer shining brightly with the rising sun, but the rooms are a mess after what happened with the assassins. I hand back over to all of you as you stand there in the ruins of the once well-maintained rooms.
I also recall trying to call out to the friend that's kind of been flitting around me.
Correct. I believe you had an unfortunate roll on that one.
Yeah, did I? So heard nothing else from it overnight? Passed peacefully, no spooky patches of starlight?
No spooky patches of starlight. No further presence that you're aware of, Ztar. Just the sense that you're being watched. There is that feeling that you've had. Yeah, the feeling that there are eyes that you cannot see that are on you in this moment. Not sinister, appraising. You are being assessed and appraised.
Any appraisal spread?
No appraisal spread visible around you for now.
Well, then shall we go and talk to the caravan and ensure they've returned safely?
I think that's probably our best course of action.
Yes.
Then Sir Pelican said we can interview the prisoners, and maybe that will give us a lead into where they ran, who they came from, what we should do next.
I think he said that we could return in the afternoon. He said that there was something about his... Yes, so we got some hours before that would be suitable. Gark, you were talking about work that needs to be done in the market today. Is that of importance or urgency, or should we push forward with these other tasks?
Well, I did want to make sure that the other the soldiers and other caravan travelers were safe. If we were attacked by assassins, there's no reason to think they would not be. So they would be spared. Probably worth keeping an eye and making sure they arrive safely. A lot could happen between the market and Bethab's war camp, was my fear.
I think that's a good course of action. Hula, how are you feeling? Strong?
Yes.
Ready
Strong
for
and ready
another
to carry. Yes.
Good. Rav-eth,
Yes.
thank you for your wisdom in that conversation.
Oh. No. It's okay.
I had a momentary lapse. I know that it was said that we were not going to share that information, but part of the way, I must admit that I did think it was strange not to mention the shard bearer.
I just put the two and two together. I thought that if the guards hadn't already mentioned it to her, then the survivors certainly would. I felt like there was nothing we could really do about hiding that to ourselves.
I think our last couple of days have told us to be cautious on who to trust and what to share, but it clearly got the better of our wisdom to not even say obvious things. Next, we're going to say we, do not know where the war camps of the Shattered Plains are. Foolishness. I think maybe a more truthful path might help us have more success and a bit more tact.
And it's to be I've seen this before. Soldiers, those in the wilds, fatigue can set in, and not knowing who to trust, it makes people act a strange way. I don't think this is anything to be too concerned about. Something to keep in mind, sure, but given our circumstances, given the fact that we have been attacked twice in as many days, I think such things are to be expected.
I want to make it heard by everyone in this room. I would not be here if you had not assisted me to get out of the last few days, and part of that is what I'm holding on to right now. That is the thing I'm trusting. I do not believe anyone in my immediate space is planning to kill me, and therefore I must put trust in that.
Oh, and quick aside. I remember after Rav-eth started opening up, I shared a bit about what I learned when I was going into the what's his face's war camp.
Yeah.
Did I tell the Bright Lady about what I heard Fanadel plotting with Resi that sounded like more global in scale rather than hitting a silly merchant caravan kind of scale?
You didn't go specifics. You did give the impression that there was more going on. You indicated that this wasn't something. Yeah, you kind of indicated Thanador was aware of this and had outright pushed for this, that it wasn't just Resi acting
attack
rogue.
rather than the bigger plot. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that this was larger than just Resi letting off steam.
I have a DM question as well, and I should know this NPC's name, but it's been a while. The guy who we weren't sure who his deal was, but he's
the older gentleman, the soldier.
Yes, what's his name?
I'll pull that open now for you. That was Vania.
Vania. Yeah, I think Rav-eth, before we ended the session last time, wanted to actually go and speak to Vania.
And I believe Neivien, you had been keen to go and try and catch up with Navani as well.
Correct. Yeah, I've got to fulfill my whole sole purpose for actually being here in the camps.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, Vania is in the training grounds in Bethab's War Camp. You have to walk past those if you are leaving Bethab's War Camp. It is on the way to the outer markets. That's an easy stop off on the way. Naveen, as far as you're aware, is up at the King's Palace, which is again just above the outer market. You're heading that direction anyway. They're probably the main locations you guys were talking about. Are there any other things that you wanted to do? Any other people you wanted to speak to? You have been told that if you agree, because you haven't sort of, as far as your position as like questioners or examiners is going, you haven't officially agreed to anything, and therefore you don't yet have documentation. Word has not been spread around camp that you are doing this on official business. At any point, you can send a message to Dala, and that ball will start rolling. You will be granted paperwork, all of you, including Ztar, that marks you as questioners and the official retinue, and you have a bit more authority within the camp. Yeah, a little bit more authority than you would have before.
That's true. I think we were a bit skeptical of that at the time.
Exactly. You weren't sure exactly what you wanted to do, but you have that choice available to you. That's it does tie you to Bethab pretty tightly.
Yeah, it's better to remain a little more free until we're at least convinced that this wasn't some elaborate plot within a plot that Brightlady Dala is involved in. I think once we've talked to the people we aim to talk to today, we can probably make a better decision on whether these people from Bethab's camp are worthy of tying ourselves to. I, for one, don't think I can rest until at least someone has paid for the attack on the caravans, and certainly for the attack on us.
I fully second that opinion. I think tying ourselves down without fully understanding if these people can be fully trusted, and don't get me wrong, I think the way things worked out with our conversation was probably the right way to go, but I still don't trust these people, not as much as I would like to if I'm going to be tying myself to them.
Nor do I, and I hesitate to tie myself to another light eyes officially again. That's burned me in the past, and look, now that I've escaped those chains once, I don't see myself willingly entering servitude again.
I can understand that.
Charlie, Verniers on the way. We can stop and talk to him, unless you'd like to do that yourself, brother.
Oh, I don't mind if you like to accompany me. I just thought perhaps I could sort of understand his predicament a bit more if I was able to talk to him. But feel free to accompany me if that's what you wish.
I also have
divide and conquer.
I do have one errand that I need to be running on for my own ends. I'm not opposed to company, although you may find it kind of boring. I need to go speak with Brightlady Navani about some matters.
I think it needs to be said. We were nearly assassinated last night. We're not dividing. We can do these tasks one at a time. I do not mind standing idle, watching while you have a conversation with anyone, whether it's someone in the Blade Masters area or a lady up in the King's Court. We're sticking together or we're going to be targets alone.
That's a good point.
Right. Javonios then.
Alrighty. As you head down the stairs, the wood creaking underneath your footsteps, emerging out onto the streets of Bethab's war camp. Once again, the war camp itself is a hive of activity. Despite the fact that there have been no horns calling for a plateau run, the soldiers are training. Very unlike Thanadel's war camp, Ztar. When you infiltrated before, a lot of soldiers were lounging around. A lot of activity, but not a lot of training. Bethab's camp, surprisingly, is seemingly quite well organized. The High Marshal Peligan runs a pretty tight ship from what you can see. Soldiers are running drills, moving back and forward. You can see over towards the side the carpenter's area where massive chunks of wood, soul-cast wood, are being carved and cut down to form bridges. Those to be pulled by Charles and those lifted by men. It looks like there is a transformation occurring within Bethab's war camp, moving away from Charles and moving towards bridge crews manned by living people, by slaves, by warm bodies. As you pass towards the edge of the war camp's perimeter, you arrive at the training grounds. These are concentric circles arranged around a large building, 2 or 3 stories with a balcony on top overlooking. Members of the Ardentia, shaved heads and white robes, along with grey, a few other colours as well, milling around, along with soldiers who are busy training. Over towards the side, it takes a moment to spot Vanir, but you do eventually see him. Speaking with a couple of Ardents, it looks like he is examining a sword, running his hand along the blade, occasionally checking the straps. He's in animated conversation with 2 of the Ardents, a woman and a man. Both look to be in their sort of mid-40s, sort of mid-40s, maybe early 40s. Hard to tell with the shaved head, actually. Actually, that would add a bit of extra guesswork. Yeah, anywhere between 30 and 50, you reckon? Hard to say, as they're going over the details of this sword. As you begin to approach, you can see one of the other Ardents, not one who's not speaking with him, an older man, looks to be well into his 60s, spots you walking across the training ground and makes a beeline for you, a quarterstaff in his hand. As he steps up, clears his throat.
Hello, how can I help you?
Yes, Alaran here. We're needing to speak to Vanir. He temporarily visited us last night, and some of my companions have some questions.
Very well, of course. Just
Stands aside, giving access, but following along behind to keep a close eye on you. As you approach, you can hear Vanir speaking.
I'm not sure about the strappings on this Ardent. It's slippery when wet. If there was rain out on the plateau, soldiers would lose their grip. Sword must be strong and taut. You need to change the leather on this.
And then as he spots you out of the corner of his eye, you watch as he turns, sheathing the sword, handing it back to the Ardents, before giving you all a bit of a wry smile.
Well, my strange friends. Well met once again.
Well, just... You might remember us from last night. I wanted to thank you personally for your assistance during...
I'm not senile yet, boy. I remember.
It was all a bit of a blur for me. But no, I just wanted to thank you for your involvement and for helping to protect us against those assailants. It was quite impressive.
Speak no further of it. It's a cowardly thing to attack in the night, in the shroud of shadow. I was pleased to offer any help I could. I've had enough of machinations of the other princedoms. Grew tired of that long ago.
I was going to ask, actually. We spoke to Captain Pellegrin this morning. He mentioned that you were once captain here. Is that true?
I was High Marshal once, yes.
High Marshal. Apologies.
Same position young Peligan holds now. Boy does me proud. I'm happy for him to hold the title. It's well suited, I think, for the task. Better than I was. I wasted much of my time on women and wine. He has more of a focus for the job, I think.
Such vices, I suppose, not to be. I mean, I guess anyone can fall to those things. But in any case, he said that you suffered some sort of injury. I am a learned man myself. I just wanted to understand. I'm learning all sorts of things in my travels and how to treat people and how to look for things. And I just thought perhaps I could ask some questions about this ailment, see if I could glean any more, understand it, perhaps be able to assist you in any way. If you do not feel comfortable talking, we can talk at another time. It's fine.
You can see the two Ardents he was speaking with immediately turn and walk the opposite direction, Rav-eth. Just not part of this conversation any longer. You can see, Vanier grows silent, sort of looks down a little bit. Before his body language was open, joking, that comment about like partaking of women and wine too much to take the job seriously. You watch as one of the Ardents, like they look at each other and like frowning as if they think he's like, they don't understand what he's saying. You think that might have been a joke or just a bit of humor, but this is very serious all of a sudden. He goes quite quiet and sort of nods.
Hope. Hope is blessing and a curse. I can't hope anymore about this. I have too many times. I can't hope for a treatment for this. Not again. The pit I had to pull myself out of last time. As a learned man, you must understand the toll hope, false hope, can take on the mind, on the soul.
Of course. Yes.
I have been told by every ardent scholar, creme oil salesman this side of the continent that they know how to fix this, and every single one has been wrong. There is no fixing this.
My mind tells me there must be something, but if what you say is true, there are some things that are very hard to put back together, and
some things can't be mended.
Can in this moment, like I guess what I'm trying to like maybe do, talking to him,
make
an
assessment. What's going on?
I have diagnosed as like a utility thing. I was wondering if I could use that.
Yeah, 100%. This is absolutely. I believe that's using your. Let me pull it open. It'll say which stat it uses.
Yeah, it's game it's part of the emotional intelligence ability. It's part of the scholar, but I don't know what like ability it scales off.
I believe I'm just pulling it open now. I believe it rolls with game diagnosis expertise. So it's an expertise that falls underneath your general expertises. So we can pick which stat to roll with.
That's probably
and you get like basic information anyway because it's an expertise, and then when you roll with certain stats, you get extra stuff. I'd say in this instance. You're probably leaning into, I'd say, perception, insight. I'd also say deduction can kind of fit in here too. Any one of those three that you want to roll, you can roll. You'll get some basic information because you already have the expertise.
Yeah, in that case, I'll probably roll off deduction because it's my strongest skill out of those.
I figured. God, it's nice having skills where it's just like, I have an expertise in this, so I just flatline know something about it. There's no like, it's not like I'm a rogue. I've trained for 40 years as an elf to pick this lock. Natural one. Oh, right. Okay. Well, I guess I can't open this inn's door. Here we are.
Oh, wow.
Like I'm a scholar. I've studied for hundreds of years on this topic. I don't know how a fireball works though. It's eluded me. 19 is very nice. Plus your baseline knowledge. There's a fair bit you're going to get out of this, Rav-eth. So,
very good.
From the get-go, ever since you have seen him, his right hand has been shaking, a tremor. Not all the time. It seems to be coming and going in intensity. There are peaks and troughs to this tremor. Some sort of intention tremor, you suspect. Before, when he was speaking to the Ardents, it seemed to get a little bit worse for a moment, and then it got a little bit better when he was distracted, putting the sword away. Some sort of tremor. His speech is clear, but you can see that he is talking through a partial, like the muscles on the right-hand side of his face don't seem to move as clearly. You think there's been some sort of stroke. Not a full stroke. It hasn't taken out huge amounts of his muscle movement. Clearly isn't affecting his cognition. Maybe not the full story, but whatever this was, part of it is stroke related, you think. On top of that, the scars on his body show a man who has been through huge amounts of combat. He has taken blows from swords, from spears, from heavy weaponry, from concussive blows. And what you can see around the back of his head where the hair has kind of grown long, there is a cracked section of scarred skin. He took some sort of head wound, you think, on the left-hand side of his head towards the back at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you see.
I mean, my knowledge is probably limited, although there would be at least a baseline. With that knowledge, is there anything that like you would be able to recommend, like as a medicinal, like even to just assist with the tremors? Like,
if there's been damage to the brain as a result of some blow, there's a really tight window in which it can be healed. You know there are fabrials. Some fabrials can be used to help heal, but beyond that,
too late at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard that if you hit someone really hard on the other side of the head, it'll just even it out.
You're talking about phrenology, or as I like to call it in this instance, I guess adaptive phrenology, where like you have personality traits you want to induce, and so you give head injuries to create the bumps on the head that give you the traits. It is all bullshit. Has been, always will be. One of my favorite Terry Pratchett references is the one of the Discord books. There's a moment where you come across a man who's got a hammer and who's like doing adaptive phrenology, like trying to induce bumps on people's heads to give them the personality traits that they want, which I find very funny. Terry Pratchett's so funny. He's so good.
Yeah.
I can love Terry Pratchett. This is a really quick aside. Massive Terry Pratchett fan. There was a new Discworld RPG that came out late last year. It's really, really not great, unfortunately, which was really devastating because I've always wanted to run a Discworld RPG. It's not great. I'll have a look and see what we can do because I would love to do a Discworld RPG, but it's yeah. That's all I'm going to say on it. Carry on. Carry on.
Side question.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, if a bonded spren could regrow someone's arm or something, would it be able to cure a brain injury?
Here's the thing, and this is something for Rory that Rory knows. Hula knows none of this. To heal injuries, what is happening is the Stormlight is pulling your spiritual aspect and recreating your physical aspect to match the spiritual aspect. So it depends on whether or not you see that injury as part of who you are. That is why Lopen's arm regrows immediately, but Kalden's scars, the brands, take a lot longer to vanish. It's only when he no longer sees those scars as part of his identity that they vanish. So it depends on the person's perspective and their perception of the state of being.
Okay. So in this case, probably.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
Possibly.
Probably.
Hard to know.
Not that that helps him now or with this diagnosis, but
yeah. Rav just writes this all down.
Yeah, it's bond a spren. Become a dust bringer, no problem.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
If you go that way, in 2 months, Kaladin Stormblessed will be able to take you on as a squire.
Rav-eth writes it all down and kind of like comes to a pretty like logical conclusion. Yes, judging by these, from what I've got here, yeah, it does sound like this is a pretty grievous wound. I'm just. It seems like you've seen a lot of combat in your time.
Yes, I was a soldier for many years. I'm not from any important family. One of the rare instances of people attaining a position through skill of others around me and the the luck that I saw in battle. I was a soldier for Bethab, a loyal soldier for many, many years. And he recognized my skill. His father recognized my skill, appointed me as High Marshal, caused a bit of a stir at the time. When I was no longer able to do it, I went to my student I'm most proud of. Peligan has lived up to the task far better than I could have.
Your time with the Bethab has been, positive, you would say?
Look, let me speak plainly. The current High Lord Bethab, he's lucky. He chose well in marriage, or his father chose well in marriage. Let me say that. His father was a very shrewd, astute man. They say that people often take the aspects of their parents. Not sure where Bethab was. He clearly did not inherit any of his father's wit, cunning, or intellect. But his wife, she's particularly savvy, and thank goodness for that, Machina.
And you trust them?
Yeah, I do. I owe Bethab everything. His father, Bethab, current Bethab, a bit, but I do trust him. What sort of way? You're worried that he ordered the attack on you last night? I'll just let you know now. Bethab would have just had the soldiers come and take you away and clap you in irons. He doesn't need to send assassins, nor would he think of it. That wouldn't even occur to him.
It's not so much that. It's more if we were to align ourselves more formally with Bethab, then we just want to know what we're getting ourselves into. That's all, before we sign any papers and do anything of that nature.
Well, High Lord Bethab is by no means the worst of the Aelthi High Princes. I wouldn't say he's the best of them. He is a man who tries his best, though. I'm not sure what more you could really ask.
That's very true. Did anyone else have any other questions for our friend here, or should we continue on?
I was just going to ask two things. First thing is, does Alaran know the conflict or battle timeline for when Veneer's injury had him step down from High Marshal as like a significant member of like the house, and like is that something he already knows? Because I'm feeling like it's not something I want to specifically ask. So I'm like, hey, that head wound you got, about, but like I feel like Alaran might have got some timeline on it at some stage.
Yeah. Do you want to roll for me? I'd say this falls under probably more under the side of law, I think is the most likely, because you're sort of relying on your knowledge of the past. I'd say law falls most under this, but you do have expertise in this history anyway, so you'll get some baseline information regardless.
All right, there we go. Rolling through there.
19 again. God, look, hey, we just need you to roll some. Let's just see if that feels like the curse is broken. The curse of low rolls.
I'll balance it out. Don't worry.
Okay, thank goodness. I was worried. 19 on the law check, Alaran. High Marshal Peligan stepped down a few months after the how to put this delicately, after the absolute
Vanier, right?
Vanier, sorry. Yeah, Vanier. High Marshal Vanier stepped down after the unification of Alethkar under King Gavilar. Bethab's forces faced off against King Gavilar and the Blackthorn, and the Blackthorn carved through that army very quickly, very efficiently. And you, from what you understand of the reports, Vanier took a warhammer to the head without shard plate on from the Blackthorn himself.
Ouch.
Okay. I feel like
this was many years ago.
Because of this region, I feel like the events around the unification have been a piece of contention that have led to the High Prince infighting and like current state of the country. And because of Alaran's own history ties with the houses and specifically that house, I think, it's not something I'm bringing up specifically, that, but I'll probably, in passing after conversation, mention to Rav-eth the history of that incident towards the unification, talking about how the High Princes were very divided and some were anti-unification and wanted to keep their kingdom separately, and then kind of tell the story of the current king and his
cool
path.
Another example of a son who doesn't inherit his father's wits or savvy. Elakar and Gavilar.
Yeah.
He tries his
I think
best.
about Alaran there.
Oh, no. Alaran. To be fair, actually, another example of... no.
I would say that what he didn't get from his father is strength. Strength is, like, physical strength is something that his father really holds as,
I would say ruthlessness as well. You have not inherited your father's ruthlessness, Alaran.
We'll see.
Oh, true. We will see, I guess. Yeah. There's still opportunity.
Yeah.
Were there any other questions you guys had for Vanya?
Before we go, Vanya, I don't have any questions, but I do want to, again, on behalf of all of us, express our deep gratitude for yourself and for your soldiers. I know you weren't officially leading them, but you were unofficially leading them last night. So thank you.
My boys have worked hard. They remember following my lesser orders. It's good that they still listen to me in times of crises. My pleasure. Brightness. Anytime. It's hard to step away from the old haunts, from the old paths that we tread. I still see myself as a soldier at heart. If I hear of disruption, if I see things wrong, I will always step in to intervene until I suffer the consequences of it, I suppose. But yes, my pleasure.
Just like looking around, like kind of reading the room. I'm assuming there are soldiers and others like kind of looking.
Yeah. You're in the middle of the training grounds. You can see in the concentric circles there are soldiers all around. A number of them training with spears, a number of them training with swords. There's even 2 in shard plate. That's a good question. Hang on, where? Bethab doesn't. I don't think Bethab has shard plate. I think he has 1 shard plate. There is a soldier in shard plate. Probably Pelagan's shard plate. It looks like it has been lent out for a soldier to practice with. You can see them doing dueling forms against a dummy. It looks like a number of these flowing stances, Rav-eth, that you don't recognize. Alaran, you immediately recognize this as flame stance. The soldiers switching between different types of flame stance. These quick strikes, constantly in motion. Yeah, really, really stunning to watch. Very, very gifted, whoever this soldier is.
Yeah, I guess my question was going to be like, do they look? It's probably safe to assume the soldiers are looking at Vanya with like admiration, right? Like there's respect here for sure.
Especially among the older soldiers. The young ones, not so much. It looks like they kind of just copy what their superiors do. But a lot of the older soldiers, those marked as captains or ranks a little bit lower, lieutenants, things like that, you can see that there is it is a salute of sorts that many of them do. A hand to the chest as they walk past, a little nod of the head, a very respectful, very subtle motion that they do. And Vanya repeats it back to them every single time.
That's so cool.
Yeah, there's a respect there, a hard-earned respect that has been passed down. This man's shadow is long and stretches far back.
Awesome. Yeah. That'll be all from me. Thank you for your time.
Don't be a stranger if any of you need the combat practice. I've got some lads who could use a bit of experience in a real-world situation. I don't know. I've always thought that it's good to go up against people without combat training. People act unexpectedly when faced with danger. If you ever want to try your hand and give my boys a bit of a workout, any of you who are keen to come and fight, even you, Brightness, feel free. I've got some lads who could use a bit of practice dealing with the unexpected and seeing how you lot handled yourselves last night. I'm sure you've got some unexpected moves at play. You too, Parshman. He gives you a nod.
Alaran's attention as he notices the flame stance, he's like captivated in that what's going on around, and I think maybe it's a form that he's a little less familiar with, focusing on a lot of the strength-based stances historically that he's been weaker at, and he is just seemingly zoned out, but what he is that flicker of the flame is in his eyes, and he's just watching the quick flexible movements and like almost flickering as he's like processing that and taking on those stances as something that he's like absently learning without even really realizing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Rav-eth is gonna kind of give you a bit of a nudge. You should take Vanya up on that offer, but maybe you should get in there and have a go. I'm not unfamiliar to standing in the ring and having these fights in times gone by, and I think I'll keep my fights for when I'm fighting to keep myself alive. That was not a good time for me, and
this won't be your father's estate, boy. I'm not going to tell people who you are. To them, you'll just be travelers. You'll get a proper fight, not a rigged one, in either direction. I can promise you that.
Alaran had never considered that any of the fights could have been rigged. He just like disappears off into that of like, I was getting harassed all the time and getting beaten up by people. Yeah. Veneer, thank you. The
Don't thank me.
has already said it, but
You don't need to thank for this. Just looking out for boys. And if you do decide to stick around with Bethab, you'll be one of my boys as well. All of you. You'll all be my boys.
Cool.
My lads.
Does he glance at me at all during that time?
Yeah. He acknowledges you. And when he was saying when he offered for a bit of a duel, he said Neivien, and then he went, and then nodded and went, even you, Parshman. That'll be unexpected. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that would leave, I guess.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Veneer, I think we need
boys
to
are
take
heading
our
out.
leave.
But we'll let you know when the boys are back in camp. The boys are back in camp. Yeah. That's the name of an episode right there. Yeah, carry on.
We need to go to Navani next. Could you point us towards the royal area, wherever that would be?
He looks at you, completely expressionless, and then looks up at the hill that looks down over all of the war camps in the enormous stone palace that has been soul cast into the side of it, the market below it. The war camp's down on the plateau. This is up on the mountain. He just looks up at it, looks back at you, and then slowly points up. Does not say anything. Who has been the most insightful consistently? Probably Ztar. Ztar and Hula have proven themselves pretty insightful. There is a flicker of amusement as he bites back a comment and does not say. The subtext of that comment being very astute brightness as he points up at the castle. Very perceptive, bright lady.
Is Brightness Navani behind that mountain?
My goodness.
I say
Can you-
the same kind of look in my eyes back to this guy.
Can you please roll for me? Oh, I wish there was like a humor stat. I'm gonna say probably this falls under
Yeah, roll for bands.
roll for Riz. Roll for Riz. Can you please roll for me? I'm gonna say the closest one. It kind of falls under persuasion, but it's not really persuasion. But can I get a persuasion, please?
You can.
It's the
Right, so you on
closest.
deception because I'm subverting expectations.
I will allow deception as well. Humor is often based upon the subversion of expectation. Like psychologically, a lot of things that we find funny is when we expect one thing and see the other.
Yeah, the exact same role. So I don't know
Oh, yeah.
I want to push it, but
Whatever. Yeah, I'm fine with
you
that.
don't go with
9.
I told you.
You watch as he kind of like gives you a bit of a look, goes to crack a smile, and then is unsure. He's like unsure whether it's a joke or not, and he kind of like turns the smile into a bit of a cough.
I forgot to actually do the facial expression that humans do and hummed to hilarity.
You hum to the rhythm of hilarity.
The rhythm of banter was hummed and not the facial expression of banter.
Yeah, you watch as Ztar says this completely deadpan. But Vanny sort of like looks at you, goes, in the palace, most likely. My parchment friend. I would say I don't know her exact whereabouts. I don't keep track of the movements of every member of the Colon household. But one household is enough. The Bethab household is enough to keep me occupied.
All right. Well, again, thank you. We will take our leave, I suppose.
As we walk away, I say to everyone, keep an eye and an ear out for any comments about the caravan. Just as a side as we start to head off.
Yeah, fair enough. Alrighty. As you make your way out of Bethab's war camp and begin walking up the pathway back towards the outer market, this journey is only about an hour and a half, 2 hours walking. In the light, the landscape looks a little bit different to how it did the evening before. You can see all around you the shattered plains. For an area that looks like it is desert-like, actually teems with life. You can see cremlings of all different shapes and sizes crawling over the rocks around the edge of the pathway, feeding on refuse that has been discarded by people traveling. Various plants grow between the cracks in the rocks. Frill blooms? God, that's a hard word to say. That's much easier to read than it is to say out loud. Frill bloom. Frill blooms, rock buds, and other flora growing between the gaps in the rocks. Even here at the edge of the actual plains, you can see there are the beginnings of the crevasses that mark the shattered plains. A few areas that drop away to 5-6 meters deep. These fissures in the rock that teem with life spren glowing. These orbs of motes of green light glowing in the darkness below. On the horizon towards the east, you can see windspren dancing across, moving along with the wind that is blowing a little bit harder than it was the day before. Your clothes rustle, your hair pushing across. Neivien, a few errant strands pull free of your tight bun. You tuck them back in. Rav-eth, even your dreads begin to shift in the wind. And for a moment, sound of music, this echoing, haunting melody plays on the wind for a moment. Some sort of wind instrument before it's gone. Just a few notes rising in tone before dropping. As you continue on towards the outer market, unless there's anything else you guys wanted to do there, as you continue on towards the outer market, the foot traffic picks up considerably, and by the time you reach the edge of the palisade walls, passing by the war camps of Sades, Bethab, you already passed Thanadel, Sades, and finally Colon. As you arrive at the edge of the outer market, you can see that it is teeming with people. It looks like another caravan has arrived in the morning, and this one is packed with slaves.
Oh.
On makeshift wooden platforms, men, arms tied behind their backs, manacles in some places, are marched onto the platforms, while High Lords, bright-eyed men and women, peruse them. Retinues of soldiers from each war camp, their colours on their uniform marking them clearly, move between each of these stands. Some pointing at men, spheres exchanged as they are led away. It is a grim sight from what you have just come from, seeing people being sold back and forth. Over towards the right, there is a large pen full of parchment, their marbled skin standing out in stark contrast to the pinks and browns of the humans around. You can see people going over, squeezing arms, pulling back lips to look at teeth as they examine them, handing over spheres, much more spheres for the Parshmen than for the humans. It's a grim sight. One that is not easily forgotten, even as you pass through the gates into the outer market itself. Gark leading the way, guiding you through the streets, having been here before, as he calls back. This way, try not to get lost. Many of the side streets. No. Alaran, this way. Yep, good, thank you. As he tries to lead you down many of the side streets, sticking to the main road rather than getting a bit lost down the network of mazes, almost like a catacomb at some places, carved into the overhanging rock. At the edge of the outer market, just inside the front gates, what would you guys like to do? I know Neivien was keen to carry on up towards the palace to try and meet with Navani. Rav-eth, Hula, Alaran, the three of you, with Gark with you as well. I think Gark was planning on waiting here for the caravan to arrive, asking around about the caravan. Could I get from all of you, actually, as you're making your way through, maybe a perception or a deduction check, your choice, each of you, just to see if there's anything you pick up? People mentioning the caravan, people doing things, just anything you might pick up. Any news?
Sure. The only thing I wanted to mention, maybe a couple of steps before, that noise, that musical music.
Wow.
Those notes, did they seem like they were like in any way, shape, or form like connected to where we are? Or are they just like very out of the ordinary? Like, had we heard music instruments at all?
Sounded like someone playing an instrument, Rav-eth. Do you want to make a deduction check for me? Or perception? If you tell you what, your deduction or perception, I can use that for that if you like. You're 13.
Yeah, I just rolled a 13. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got a 21 for Alaran. Hula and Neivien, deduction or perception, your choice.
Pretty good.
Raph's looking concerned. Raph, the button's not working.
Not working. What do I need to push? Is there something? Oh no! Hang on.
Yeah, you press roll, not the dice.
It's because I'm in. I'm not using Roll20. I was using the other thing. Hang on.
You're in Demiplane. You need to be in Roll20.
I was in Demiplane. Yeah.
It'll get you. 19. Hula. Very nice. Rav-eth. Sounded like someone playing an instrument, but Bethab's war camp is one of the furthest away from the outer market, and the wind blowing from the east. It means that music was either coming from Sabarial's camp or coming from beyond the mountains, which means that someone's out there just playing music in the middle of nowhere. Bit weird.
I sort of like very like almost on our way to the market. I'll kind of be like, oh, did anyone else just hear that just then? Was it just me?
It sounded like music.
Yeah, it did. Just strange. I haven't heard any musical instruments since I've been here. It seems a bit out of place, that's all.
I'm sure it was just someone playing some music somewhere to while away the hours.
It's probably nothing.
Rav-eth, do you have music back home, don't you?
Of course, yes. I mean, wherever I deem home to be, I'm a bit of a wanderer. I've had music in many places.
Well, people do just tend to play it, sometimes. Why are you looking for a reason?
I'm aware. No, it's just the first time I've heard it in the camps, that's all.
All right.
I've got some good news. As you arrive at the outer markets, there's a lot more music. You can hear jaunty tunes playing from some of the taverns that are located around the edge of the outer market. The outer market, imagine a vast, sprawling bazaar, a mixture of permanent shops built in out of the stone behind the windbreaks, using the mountain as a bit of a protection against the high storms as well. Many of the shutters designed to lock and close over, but also a multitude of canvas stalls, very, very semi-permanent, designed to be packed up in a moment's notice, tucked away somewhere safe while people evacuate from the high storms. It is a multitude of people, lots of Aelthi, but loads of other people as well. Hula, you passed by a group of horn eaters animatedly discussing in Unkalaki about a particular deal that they're working towards to get some Hornita lager down from the peaks and sell it at a massive profit to one of the ale houses not too far from where you are. They probably would give you a bit of a nod as you pass them by. You don't recognize them specifically, but their clan colors indicate they're from the second of the peaks. We don't think we discussed which of the peaks you come from, which your clan comes from, but I think it's like 4 or 5 different main Unkalaki clans. Whichever one, and they're not named officially in the canon yet, so whichever one you want to be from, you can be from. Not a problem. I kind of based your colors and Mickey's colors on the clan that Rock is from, because he's the main Unkalaki that we get to see in the books. Obviously,
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I figured that made sense. But yeah, you can hear them animatedly discussing a deal to sell Hornita Lager for a very, very good markup. They're laughing that the Aelthi would pay so much, and also that the Aelthi can only drink so much. They find it very funny that they can only have a few very tiny glasses and then that's it, they're gone. Yeah, they're really confused about how weak the Aelthi are with their alcohol intake. It's concerning to them. But yeah, there's music playing from a number of the places. The market where the slaves are, it's eerily silent, but away from that, as you enter in the outer market and the main market proper, yeah, Rav-eth, there's music coming from all over. Horns you can hear, even some drums playing as well. Yeah.
This is a bit more lively.
Yeah. It's very lively. Gark.
Well, I need to go to speak with Navani. I do, take Alaran's point that I'd rather not get stabbed in the back on the way. Would you all be willing to come along and stand around while I get my business finalized?
Yeah, of course. We can't. I think Alaran spoke wisely. We don't want to separate. Essentially, since we were the targets of those assassins, I think it would be unwise to break apart the party.
I am going to put a small spanner in those works. I really want to make sure that one of us is around to know when the caravan has arrived. And I worry, Gark says, I worry that if we're spending time up in the palace, we won't notice what's happening down here in the market.
Will you be safe?
I'm already safe. Nothing's going to happen it's going to happen out here in the open like this.
Maybe that is true. It is daylight. I don't see stranger things have happened, but as long as you feel safe and there'll be eyes on you, you should be okay, I guess. And you do raise a good point. It would be good to have some eyes down here while we're up in the palace.
I'm just another Thalen merchant when I'm here. I don't think anyone's going to... no offense, but it is some of you who probably stand out more than me. Mostly you, Rav-eth. Not many Natanans here.
No, I can't say I've seen many of my people here. Yeah, no, good point. Yeah, maybe you would be best to blend in with the merchants here, and maybe get a head start on that mission you assigned us to.
Gathering information on a gemstone. Yes, see what I can find.
Yeah. Still trying to get my head around that one. Yeah, maybe that would be a good thing. You can set up here and find some information about those gemstones, and we can go talk to some bright eyes, I guess.
Good luck. It's definitely not because I don't just want to talk to a bunch more light eyes. I really think this is a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just some bright eyes that we're speaking with. It's the sister of the king.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not my king.
Well, he's got a point.
Oh, you have fun with that.
Look, I genuinely will.
Perfect. So if anyone wants to stick around with Gark and hang out in the outer market, you absolutely can. Otherwise, if the rest of you are all keen to head up to the Palace District, we can absolutely do that.
I'll probably go up with Neivien, I reckon. keep the party together. And I think Gark seems pretty happy to be a merchant, so that's fun.
Yeah, cool. Alrighty, as you begin to make your way back out of the market, you can hear a sudden commotion occur. A group of merchants, as you sort of leave Gark behind, Gark sort of takes a bit of a stand near a group of the more permanent merchant stalls, beginning to look through their wares. It looks like he's sort of trying to fit in with the character of just another Thalen merchant. Clearly still keeping an eye on the entrance. As you leave him behind and begin to make your way back out through, as you approach the edge of the outer wall that leads to the slave market, you can hear a bit of a commotion, raised voices, and the sound of something crashing as it falls over. As you emerge onto the main road once again towards the gate, you can see that a chull has backed up and knocked over what looks like a cart. Around it, several merchants and caravan guards or caravan accompaniments are looking over the goods, while a very angry, light-eyed man, dressed in the colors, it looks like the colors of House Ruthar, stands over shouting at the merchants.
This is unacceptable. You cannot control these beasts. What is the point of using them? Give me the documentation. I'm going to need to mark off all of these goods right away.
Looks like something's happened. Some sort of minor event that is now being taken well out of proportion by this High Lord. And you can hear as you walk past, probably more Ztar, as you're keeping to the back of the group, Ztar, a woman in her probably looks like mid-20s size as she speaks to her companion, a young man similar age. Oh dear, someone's pissed off Justin again. They look at each other and share a bit of a look. You can see the boy sort of looks a bit confused, goes, you were helping unload last week, was that right? Yes, there's always a problem. He's never happy. I'm not surprised. This is a major stuff up, though. They're going to be, well, there'll be much paperwork, she says in a bit of an imitation of his voice. The two of them laugh before turning and walking away the other direction, getting a seat and observing from afar the chaos that is unfolding as this Bright Lord Justin begins ordering around three of the guards that are with him. Other members of Ruthar's Ruthar's war camp begin to just grab stuff, push people out of the way, grabbing at the supplies. The box of items is interesting. It's all metallic components. A number of it looks to be strange contraptions, sections of probably what look like designed to be fabrials, or at least used in the construction of fabrials. And from the direction the cart was going, it looks like it was leaving the market and heading up the main road that you are following towards the palace district. But Neivien, you would immediately... Oh, yeah, yep.
Sorry, I was just going to say, if I remember correctly, was shipments of metal what Gark was meant to be looking out for?
That was one of the things Gark was keeping an eye on. It was more importantly, though, the gemstone, and the contact had said it might be disguised amongst shipments of metal. He didn't say why, though. Yeah.
Did Gark share that with us, or was Gark still being crabbed?
Gark has shared that with you because Josh isn't here to tell me he doesn't. Gark has shared that with you.
Do I recognize any of the components that fell out?
Neivien, you have a expertise in fabrial construction and an examination. Do you want to make me a deduction check or a law check? Your choice. And you'll get some information from this anyway, regardless.
Mm.
Can I look as well? Because I actually do have an erudition for equipment crafting. So more, not necessarily for fabrials, but just equipment in general.
Yes.
Cool.
100%. $13, Neivien. Not bad at all. As you examine the supplies, what at first looked like something very interesting, you realize quickly is a bit more mundane. Most of these components are nothing more than metal housings for gemstones to be used as light. Probably for a storm shelter or something similar. The narrow cages, the way that they're locked around, they're meant to hold spheres or gemstones that are infused to provide light. It's not as exciting as it first looked.
Damn.
It's a bit disappointing. You were kind of hoping for a little bit more. Some of the designs look a little bit different. You can see that there's some sections of this plated metal that kind of lock in with the cages, but nothing really, doesn't really grab you as anything much more interesting than that. Rav-eth, 23! Rav-eth, same as Neivien, but there is something a little bit more you get from this.
Sweet.
The shipment that fell off, the crate that cracked open and spilled these onto the road, a lot less interesting than the crate that is still on the cart and partially opened. While the High Lord Jostin is making a scene, going about angrily shouting at people, drawing attention, 2 members of Ruthar's guard, wearing the colours of House Ruthar, are currently grabbing things out of that crate, tucking them in their pockets. Jostin occasionally checking back and glancing. Jostin keeping an eye glancing, making sure that they're not being observed and keeping the attention on himself. He is clearly aware of what he is doing.
The guards are.
The guards are.
Oh.
The guard. He is working with the guard with a 23 on deduction. Jostin is distracting people so that his guards can take things from these crates. Members of Ruthar's guard.
I like nudge Neivien, and I just kind of like give her like a bit of a check that out sort of thing.
As soon as Rav-eth points it out, Neivien, oh yeah. Yeah, you immediately see what's going on.
What are they taking?
It looks like they're taking soul cast sections of metal, along with some gemstones that are tucked inside. Not massively beautifully cut gemstones. It looks like there is a bit of a mixture of some minor, well-shaped gemstones and some soul cast metal housing for them. It looks like these are...
So just stuff that have like a resale value.
Stuff that matches exactly with what Gark was told to be looking out for.
Yep.
Was he just to report back on that, or was he to stop it?
To investigate and locate the gemstone. The theory is that it had been smuggled out of Thalanar and would be somewhere on the Shattered Plains, and to find out which High Prince likely has it.
It was a special gemstone, was it?
Yeah, a gemstone that's been cut in such a way that it can hold stormlight for a very, very long time.
Gemstone.
A large gemstone, not quite a gem heart. This is a naturally mined gemstone from what the information Gark has, but it's one that has been cut beautifully by a gemsmith in Thalanar who is renowned as being particularly skilled.
Okay.
Just information to tuck away for later, if you like. Unless you want to do something now.
Would Ztar have seen it?
Oh, yeah. As soon as Rav-eth points it out, you guys all are aware of this now.
Yeah.
So I'm at a bit of a crossroads character-wise.
Yes.
Because this is something that
This is justice. Yeah, all right. Someone's thieving right in front of
I
you.
also don't want to be a lawful stupid paladin that should, like...
And these are
just
humans,
forcing-
Ztar. You don't... Yeah.
Exactly. So the part of me that wants to bring criminals to justice, because I've kind of got a bit of a shtick about that because of previous doings, is warring with the not wanting to be killed versus with the not wanting to be an active inconvenience to our general trajectory.
Yeah, and I mean, and you are clearly quite intelligent, Ztar. You know that bringing someone to justice is not necessarily something that has to happen immediately, especially when no one's in harm's way. This isn't a crime where people are at risk of being injured. You are intelligent.
Well, as far as I know.
Yeah, exactly. And you've shown time and time again that you have quite a keen mind. You are able to kind of deduce and work through problems. Yeah, this isn't a crime where letting it continue for another day or so. No one's about to be murdered. No one's about to be killed. No one's going to be hurt in the immediate time that you can see here.
Then I will hum to the rhythm of frustration and just try and clock every face that I'm seeing and like etch that into my mind and the name High Lord Jostin from Ruthar's camp.
Ztar, as you hum to the rhythm of frustration, for a moment you hear an answering hum from across the street, and then silence. And as you look over, your eyes immediately drawn in the direction. You see a Parshendi, a listener.
Whoa.
That involves
Wow.
immediate investigation, but also that's one that I almost wouldn't want to tell these guys about.
Fuck us then.
Dinner and a movie
yeah,
first.
Fuck ourselves. Yeah, that's right.
Friends, I know we said we wouldn't deviate from the course, but sorry, I was out for a bit. Do we see Navani already and we're carrying on, or have we?
We're on our way, actively going.
Out of the outer markets.
I doubt I'll be much use seeing Brightness Navani. I'm going to observe these gentlemen here. This matches with what Gark was saying. I'll keep an eye on them and find what information I can. You carry on to see the brightness, and I'll meet you back at the caravan.
Gark's staying behind too. Gark is staying behind at the markets as well. Keep an eye out for the caravan. So he's only like a street back, Ztar.
I'll meet up with Gark and then meet with you later.
If you're going on your own, just hold on a minute. Can I rummage through my bag and find pen and paper, or quill and paper, and find somewhere to kind of sit on like a crate or something, and just forge an ownership document for him?
Yes. Could I have a crafting check, please, Neivien?
Yes, you can. Something that I should be good at.
Ostensibly. That's
Oh,
a natural
20.
20. Oh, okay. Neivien, this is not something...
So good, you actually own me.
Neivien. You watch as like Ztar's spirit web changes. There's just like property of Neivien etches itself across like Ztar's chest in the spiritual realm. No, Neivien, this is not something you just throw together willy-nilly in the moment. This is a document you've been working on since last night. When you couldn't sleep after the attack of the assassins, you began working on some sort of identification, knowing that Ztar at any point could be in serious trouble. If things go south.
Up the other day, so yeah, that makes sense.
You've been working on this for some time. As you pull out the writ of ownership, this is normally not something carried by a parshman, but in extreme circumstances, they can be given tokens or items that would show this, or sealed. Like a locket, almost like a sealed metal container wrapped around the arm or around the chest that can be opened and show a document that can be displayed to show the ownership of a parchment. If they have to be sent far away, or if they're not going to be in a location, this is what's being done. You have acquired one of these. I'm going to say you just going through Beth Ab's camp, you just happened to see one on the side, just grabbed it. One of these like lockets, these chained lockets. And as you finish the final steps, Neivien, this is absolutely pristine. You do not think that this is going to be an issue. Anyone who sees this would believe it is legitimate. It lists every single member of your party as those who can... Actually, that's a good question. Who would you list as like the contact or for where to go if Ztar is found? I'm going to say he also includes instructions that Ztar is following instructions and should not be impeded. Would that be fair to say?
Mm.
Actually,
Absolutely.
Harrison and Raph, together, you tell me, what does this document say? It's an opportunity. Like, this could be
I
really
think
good.
that's definitely helpful. I guess we probably have to put a caveat to it's believable, not to be impeded unless superseded by someone.
Yeah, someone of a higher rank.
Yeah.
Not to be impeded in any lawful activity.
Yeah. I was going to suggest, since I'm ducking off, maybe someone to come with me to hold this to make it slightly more believable.
What I think we do
Maybe
at the bottom
Hula?
of the writ, unless someone does want to come along with you, and
Gark is there. Gark can come
otherwise-
with you. Gark can come with you, Ztar. He's just a street boy. He's just a
I'm
street
not
boy.
doing his. If anyone else doesn't want to come to
to Neivien.
Hula, if you wanted to hang out in the fun part of town, you're welcome to. You don't have to go hang out with the Aelthi. You don't want to.
I do feel as though Ztar would probably have not picked Hula to come with him if he could avoid it, given the initial interactions.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna go do this
interactions was a lot more Harrison and Rory than it was Ztar.
I was gonna say it was very much Harrison telling Rory to fuck off than it was Ztar.
the party
even if it was
Alec or Aunt Vedan, Voron, more to speak. The cultures that don't follow your eye color determines how valuable you are higher. So I was trusting Mickey more. Rav-eth I has a decent amount of trust with. I trust Alaran, Gark, and Neivien, but if I'm going to hang out solo with one person, it's probably not the people that have likely owned one of me. After glossing over the rockier start, I think by now I would Ztar would be fine with Hula, given that I think at least a solid 60% of that was me to you rather than. Yeah, so, if you want to come with me, happy to have you. I don't think it's too out of character. If you'd rather go to the temple, we can write the writ to be with me being solo.
Well, it's entirely up to you how we do this, but I was thinking if I put at the bottom of this document,
all of you,
just something, a little clause, an extra piece, just saying, here is the mission that this parchment is on. He is carrying this due to his instructions and knows when to show it. Something like that, perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Neivien both in women's script and in glyphs, in case any. And the glyphs are like, do not impede. Did you want to put like a house symbol on there? And if so, which house?
Question: Did you listen? I know the male female writing things are more foreign church thing, but would listeners and thus me once I left to sing, would I have learned how to read their script? Probably not, right?
No, probably not. You probably wouldn't have had much chance.
You want on there, and I don't have to trust you.
No. But the two of you, and I'm happy actually if all of you want to contribute to this. If you've got an idea, it's like this is something that you can like quickly step aside. Again, this is an opportunity. You have a natural 20 on this for a total of 26. Like I'm very happy if you all have a bit of input to put this together. If you wanted to, so there's a couple of different things that I was sort of thinking about. One is if you wanted to sort of say, I don't know we've never seen any like indication that there are Parshmen working for the Ardentia. I wonder if that would open doors. A Parshman that belongs to the Ardents. I wasn't sure if that would like even fly you deeper under the radar.
They
can't own property.
So
I was thinking the same thing. I was having some thoughts about how that could work and what they could do. And I was like, you could go for a complete like, if you really wanted to push this, you could say on the document that it's like says in glyphs like do not impede, and then do like the colon glyph pair. Yeah, or something like that, or the Voron Church symbol. Like you could do some stuff if you wanted to go for like a deceptive route. You could go for an honest route, which is just that, like this is Ztar.
Look, I think. I mean, I don't think the Ardentia specifically, but I think this parchment is operating as an agent of the Voron Church. I mean, no one ever suspects the Spanish Inquisition. The Spanish Inquisition is here.
What if we? We could forge it so that it's a document coming directly from Bethab's house.
We could.
Bethab's not super important.
That might also, if it gets back to them, might damage our chances to continue working with them if they found more forging documents in their name.
I've had an idea.
Can I just? Sorry,
go.
Can I just advocate for, we just got caught in dumb lies because we were overthinking things. Can we just say that it's Bethab House because it is? That's kind of where we currently are. We can update the documents later on. We only need it for today.
That's true.
Just for like
we only for today now, but if we like
when are we going to get another
Foreign Church could lead to funness.
I can't guarantee that I can make a document as good as this again. If we date this as a permanent thing, whatever we sign it here at the bottom, this could last us the entire time we're in these camps, and it could be very valuable.
Is it not 50-50 that you could create a document like this, or
you either could or you couldn't, right? Yeah. It's been well established. Yeah, I mean, look, I had an idea as well, Neivien. You've seen Yasna's signature before, possibly. You could do something spicy with that if you wanted. It just occurred to me that if you might have seen something with that.
Am I right in remembering that Lady Dalinar was asking for...
Darla did ask. Darla did ask for...
She did, right?
Yep.
Cool.
That was the trigger for Neivien to be like, I need to make one of these.
Yeah, well, are we doing ownership, or are we doing this dude's out on a mission, try not to fuck with him?
You can do both. You can have the open, like the front of it before it's unrolled be like do not impede this parchment, and then if people insist and open it up, that's the writ of ownership, and then there's stuff at the bottom giving a bit more specifics.
Writ of ownership, the only people I'm trusting to put that even on a fake document are you guys. I don't know how I would phrase all of you as.
I think Neivien, as far as the ownership side of things goes, wouldn't, just purely from a growing up as a Light Eyes, it wouldn't even occur to her to put anyone outside of herself down on that. That wouldn't have even occurred to her to actually consult the others on. It would have just been yeah.
I think I'd cop that with a grimace and whatever grace that I could. Then I think that either we go vague and just say this parchment is on orders of like general important business. Please do not impede, or we go big or go home, and I think if we put a specific house or person, the chance that can make a buy us is large. If we put just a powerful thing that people wouldn't resist, I mean the Voron Church, Storm Wardens,
Stormwarden's a legit option, yeah.
Of that nature, that would be kind of both too big to notice, but would still open doors. I think it's probably the place. I mean, realistically, Church ain't gonna care if someone starts saying, "Oh, they forged a document that did," but almost anyone's gonna say, "Oh shit, if Church needs it."
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's do that.
Glyph pair for the Voron Church it is. As you finish the final flourishes on the document, Neivien, blow very gently to set the ink, and then a thin layer of lacquer to protect it from the elements. This looks damn good. Even for you. You look at this and you go, fuck. This is the best document I've ever produced.
I'm pretty proud of this.
Creation spring into the air around you, Neivien, as you finish the final touches, shifting and changing, a cart spinning on its axis, followed by a span reed slowly unraveling into a long string of ribbons. A tiny little Ztar doing cartwheels, his head spinning on its axis before it finally vanishes. As the creation spren slowly disappear and fade away, you drew about 4 or 5. It's the most you've ever drawn. It's a lot.
Wow.
This looks quite legitimate. I mean, I've had a real one before, and this looks more legitimate than that did. Good work, Neivien.
Thank you.
But just so we're clear, this does not mean that I'm your possession.
No, in fact, I was just going to say that because I wasn't sure if you would understand. I do not own you.
I know. Ztar is a pretty...
Okay, good. All right.
Master has given Ztar a writ. Ztar is free.
Or the opposite in this case.
Ztar has... Yeah. Ztar is a slow.
Then Hula, where would you rather go? I think the rest are probably needed at the palace there, but if you wish to join me, I could probably use the support here to lend some degree of officialness to this thing. But if you'd rather stay with them, I understand.
Yeah, I feel like a Horn Eater would be out of place in the Palace District anyway.
Then come with me.
Sounds good. To you,
Alrighty.
hello, Fred.
Well, that was a bit of fun.
I'll give you a big pat on the back.
Rav-eth, Neivien, Alaran, as the three of you walk past the scene that is unfolding before you, you can see that the soldiers have finished taking what they want. Bright Lord Jostin now winding down his very visible performance, now that you know what you're observing, as he slowly exclaims and then stalks back towards his guards, looking all the world like he's very upset, until his back is turned to the merchants as he gives a bit of a wink to each of the guards, smiles as they then begin heading down the street. The guards' pockets quite audibly clinking as they do so, walking along beside him. As you pass by, begin making your way up towards the Palace District. We're going to stick with Ztar and Hula for a moment, and then jump back to the three of you. Ztar, during this 5-10 minutes of interlude since you heard the rhythm of amusement, rhythm of frustration echoed back at you. As you glance back across the street, you can see a Parshendi you recognize as that you recognize as a listener. You can tell those who have their song, those who have their soul. Dark grey skin, red marble patterns, dressed in rags, a brown smock of sorts tied with a rope. You don't recognize this Parshman immediately, this Parshendi immediately. Their patterns are unfamiliar to you, but they watch you with dark black eyes, taking in details of you as well. They wait patiently, currently standing, holding a crate, while a number of people nearby begin talking animatedly. You can see that this Parshman is femalen. Hard to tell age when you're in slave form, or I guess work form, in this instance, trying to look like you're in slave form. But probably not dissimilar in age to you, Ztar. How old did we say you were? If you were human, 20s, wasn't it?
Harsh aged, yeah.
Yeah. Harsh
Standard
aged.
age for a Parshman, yeah.
So it's like 13, 14.
Yeah.
I would imagine probably late 20s, 28 or so. Old enough that no one would consider him young, but young enough that no one would consider him old.
I don't think that's 20s and late 20s anymore, mate. It's optimistic of you to say that, but I like it. Great.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you shut the fuck up. Yeah.
His name's
As Neivien finishes this document, tucks it away in its little metal casing and wraps it around your arm. You've got a bit of a moment. The crowd's focus definitely not on the two Parshmen. What would you like to do?
First, I'm making sure I clock those guys and, to the best of my abilities, commit their descriptions to memory. I don't know if you want to roll for that or if that's just...
No, you've had enough time that there are some things that you can just do without rolling dice. If you've got 15-20 minutes of time observing someone, I'm going to say that unless you really are distracted, you're able to learn a bit about them. You also know his name. I mean, that's already a pretty nice start.
Yeah, I know his name. I would also be listening to see if I pick up the names of any of the guards as well.
No names for the guards, but descriptions, they look like they're younger guards, not too dissimilar in age to Jostin, probably in their early 20s, late teenage, early 20s. Both male, both Aelthi, both freakishly tall as Aelthi are, both with dark hair, light green and light blue eyes. They look like they're possibly related, quite similar sort of nose and facial structure.
In that case, then I will try to. I imagine, like, at least in my mind, we're kind of like a bit of a crossroads. The parchment is like on one thing. Like at one corner, I'm gonna kind of just like lean against the wall next to them. And then to Hula, can you keep a secret?
Of course, my friend.
Then come stand beside me and look nondescript. So I'm gonna, like, if they're at one corner, like that, and they're there, I'm gonna, like, not directly talk to them, but leaning against that wall, start humming. And what brings you to these war camps, listener?
Humming back in the rhythm of curiosity, the Pashendi says,
I am keeping watch. I was instructed to keep my eye on the humans, to observe their patterns, their ways, to report back to the council, to the Five. There are others, not just me.
When I left, there was no talk of venturing beyond our borders ever.
Times have changed.
as she attunes to the rhythm of sorrow. Rhythm of loss? Rhythm of loss is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll attune to that then too. I am sorry to hear that. When I left, we were in isolation, but I left. I did more than listen.
Yes. Humans are never ending. There are so many all the time. Now it is a fight over the gem hearts. Are you... I do not recognize you.
Nor are you, but you wouldn't. I left these lands when I was much, much younger. I was not merely satisfied with just listening.
You sound a bit like a Shonai.
Oh, I remember.
Yes, she has grown up in these years. She leads a number of our forces now. You hear she had plate?
When I left, she was not too much older than I. She had no plate then. This is my first time being back since I left. But there was a whole world out there. We need not start this war. The humans are too numerous.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand. It had to be done. We all voted. We all agreed. The humans were going to bring back our gods. Did you not know?
To the rhythm of WTF?
Their king.
Shock. Yeah.
Their king. He was trying to bring back the gods. He had to be stopped. There was no other way.
It is true then. You did murder the king. I assumed that was a thinly veiled attempt to start this war to take the lands.
No. We had no choice. He had found the other light. We had to end him. We now bear the consequences of that decision.
Then you can leave. Head to Natan. Flee.
There are some who have spoken of this. But the humans, the Aelthi, have sworn to destroy us. There is nowhere we can go where they will not find us. If we can fight back, if we can show strength, Ashonai believes that they will see that and we can keep them distracted with the gem hearts.
how long. I mean, Shonai is correct. The Aelthi will respond to strength, but not with backing down. Have you ever seen someone try to fight a chasm fiend?
No. No, I have not.
The harder you fight, the more they fight back. It is almost a challenge to them. The Aelthi are the same. They fight strength with strength for the game of it. Now, at that point, I kind of just grab Hula and kind of just yank him out.
Yeah, Hula's
Then,
moving with it, but obviously didn't hear any of the humming or undertones or connotations. Or
Well,
anything.
they're also speaking in
you
Singer.
understood all the words, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, true. Hey, we do have a language.
No,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have understood any of the words. They're speaking in the Singer.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, what the fuck? There's another guy that's just as intelligent and chatty as this one.
I'll swap to Aelthi then, and the humans aren't all to be feared. If you can blend in this far, you can do as I have done and make your way across the world. This is Hula. He is my friend from the Hornita Peaks. There, you would be safe. Anywhere but Aelthi.
I'd sort of look at Ztar and be like, is he a friend of yours?
I do not know the female, but she is like me.
Is like you. Is like you, is like friend. And then Hula would give her a pat on the back and a bit of a hug.
She shies away from the
Full
physical
laugh.
contact, quite understandably. An enormous, hairy horn eater
Yeah.
suddenly reaching out
As most
to...
people do towards
Yeah.
Hula. Doesn't stop him.
sort of like shies back a little bit, but as you sort of finish and back away, she nods. Ztar, you recognize she attunes the rhythm of irritation as he gets closer and tries to hug her before switching to the forcing herself to attune to the rhythm of... I'm trying to remember, what's the one where it's like where you're like keeping yourself under control? The rhythm... I'm trying to remember what it's called. The rhythm of...
Focus?
we're trying to like... Which one?
Focus?
I think it is the rhythm of focus. Something like that where you're trying to like hold yourself steady and I think it is rhythm of focus. That does sound right.
I'll go straight to amusement or something of that nature. But
Yeah.
I feel like spread. You can
You can see an irritation spren drawn by the as she talks. She gives a bit of a nod. Hula, from your perspective, she's just humming music all the time, humming little tones, same as Ztar does on occasion. Before she sort of catches herself and switches back to just this monotone Aelthi. I am Antia. Well met, Hula. Ztar.
report back to your. Well, she is one of the Pashendi they fight here at the Plains, but they are not bad. They are not evil, despite this Aelthi blood feud. What was her name? Sorry.
Antia.
Antia. Head
Antea.
back.
I'll type it in chat.
Head back to the 5. Tell them to leave if they can. This is not a fight that's winnable. This is your doom. And if
Are you doing this in something Hula understands, or have you swapped?
Yeah, I'll tell you this so you understand. I brought you this far, so I'll trust you with this much. This is not a fight you can win. If the listeners are destroyed, then all we are slaves. But out there, the tones are still there. You can still sing to them.
I am not due to return for a few more months. I will pass on your message, but you should return home. If you have been away for so long, you are free now. Come back to your people, Ztar.
It is not my home anymore.
Venli must know that you are alive. She is gathering intel from all the spies.
I have less desire to see Venli than I do to see Enshonai or some of the others, but no, it stopped being my home longer. I thought I found a home out there. I did not. So I'm still finding where that is, but these shattered plains are not not my home, and nor do they have to be yours.
Hula would step in and be like, as they say on the peaks, home is
Sorry,
where
what?
you make it.
What? Sorry, what was that? What was that first
Home is
bit?
where you make it.
Was that you speaking
Right.
Unkalaki?
No, have you seen Joe Dirt? Where the
Yeah.
guy, the southerner, is like, home is where you make it, but he says it with the thick accent, so you can't really understand.
Yes. I thought you were trying to speak Unkalaki, but
Yeah, I
but
thought that was your
yeah,
attempt at
but-
Unkalaki, and I was like, no. Unkalaki's like Welsh, mate. It's like Undalevai or Sangivai. It's really like this sort of flowing, incomprehensible series of like consonants and vowels, mostly vowels.
Not too far.
The principle would more be saying home is where you make it.
Well, now I want to download Joe Dirt. I mean, legally find and watch Joe Dirt.
Legally watch. Yeah. We support legal acquisition of media here. No, do you know what? Fuck it. We don't. No, I'm not gonna lie. We don't support it. I make enough money. Yeah. As I think that might be. Oh yeah. Yep. You go.
Oh no, if you had something to say.
No, you go.
I think I'll probably just bid Antea farewell. I don't want to draw too much attention to her or to us. Then you'd probably have to start following these guys, so it's not super suspicious. But yeah, be safe and listen harder.
There are others. I have seen Rulain here as well. He is in one of the other war camps, working with the bridge crews. I know of 2 others. One with House Ruthal, one with House Sabariel. There are more of us. Keep an ear out. We use the tones to identify. That's why I thought you were reaching out to contact me. That's why I responded to the rhythm of frustration.
No, that was me being frustrated that with how the world is, I was unable to stop those men from committing a crime. In an ideal world, I would have stepped in and all would be acting justly, but sadly, if I had have done so, I probably would be in chains myself again.
She nods.
Farewell, Auntie. I don't wish to draw more attention to you, but if you need to find us, if you need help, if you're exposed or want to do something different, we're currently staying at the Bethab war camp. Say that you need to speak with Brightness Neivien. That should get you through the door.
She nods.
Same for you. I am often at the markets. My Aelthi master has me transporting goods. If you need anything or need to get a message back to Narak, a new Narak, contact me.
Right now, no more than what I've already said, but I will do so. Thank you. And I return to looking at that cart with Hula.
Perfect.
But Hula, please, for now, don't mention what you just saw to the others. I think the less people know about others like me out here, the safer they are. At least for now, or at least until we can tell them securely.
Your secrets are your own, friend.
Aelthi.
Your secrets are your own. I will not do anything to jeopardize or put you and your friend in danger. As long as it does not cause us danger.
At that, I think I'll uncharacteristically for Ztar, but characteristically for Hula, give him one of his like big shoulder pats back. And I think you're probably like a good bit higher than me.
Hula would be elated by that, letting out a big mirthful laugh and hitting you right back.
Bam!
I knew you'd warm up. Bang. Almost topples you.
Alrighty, Rav-eth, Neivien, and Alaran. We better jump in with you 3. your journey leaving behind Ztar and Hula as you make your way up towards the palace. The journey upwards, the stairs that have been soul cast into the mountainside alongside a winding path for wagons and other wheeled devices, is a bit of a journey. It takes you about half an hour to climb the steps and arrive at the main open courtyard. Immediately, the gates are wide open, but guarded by soldiers in the bright blue of the Colon uniform. You can see the glyph pair of House Colon on their shoulders. These guards are dressed smartly, attentive, and immediately, as soon as you arrive at the top of the stairs, notice your arrival, size both Neivien and Alaran up, pay attention to Rav-eth, before turning their attention back to Alaran and Neivien. You watch as a gentleman in his probably early 50s, greying hair on the temples, side sword strapped to his waist, very smart military-style coat. Got there eventually. Very smart military coat with silver buttons down the side, strides towards you, Neivien, Alaran, and Rav-eth.
Halt. What is your business here?
We're here to see Brightlady Navani. These are my traveling companions. I have business with her on behalf of my mistress.
I will need your name, Brightness, and the name of your mistress to pass on to the Queen Mother.
My name is Neivien, and my mistress is Neivien. I do have papers.
If you are happy for me to take them to show Brightlady Navani as evidence, otherwise you can keep them here and I will speak with her, see if she is willing to see you.
She will be willing. From my pack, I'll pull out what I imagine I would have been given by Navesh to be like a, document of authenticity, I guess, for my requirements here.
Are you happy for me to take these to the Brightness, to the Bright Lady?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Reaches out, takes them from you, wanders back over towards the guards, the other guards there, hands it over to a younger lad who immediately sighs, rolling his eyes, puts his spear against the wall, grabs the documents, and then takes off at a sprint, heading up the second set of stairs towards the upper balcony. As he disappears, the older gentleman walks back over towards you, hand still resting on the side sword.
If you would like to wait in the shades, you and your companions can come inside. There's a space off towards the side there. The Brightlady Navani will not be too long before she sees your petition. I understand she is working on some task with a number of her scribes this morning on the upper balconies. You're welcome to wait in the shade if the sun is too warm for your liking.
Thank you, that would be much appreciated.
He gestures you inside. The gates that you pass through are beautiful, but very much designed to withstand the onslaught of a high storm. Carved, soul cast from stone, the rock of the Shattered Plains itself, the mountainside protecting it. The gates are easily 20 feet tall, quite imposing as you walk through and then begin to move inside. The first courtyard is busy with a number of other scribes, Neivien, as well as a number of members of the Ardentia. You can recognize the shaved head robes moving around through the groups. This area looks like it is currently set up as some sort of observation platform. A number of the people there, mostly women, are looking up towards an upper balcony, probably about 100 feet on the diagonal, straight up, about a 45-degree incline as you look up. And you can see the tiny figures of other people, occasionally waving down to those below. It looks like there is a person with two colored flags, moving them from side to side, kind of indicating things. A number of people taking notes from the ground below. Something is happening. You're not quite sure what, but some sort of Artifabrian exercise, perhaps. The guard gestures you over towards the shade, a large triangular wedge of stone designed to push against the wind from the high storms, but at the moment providing a bit of shade that a number of the guards are currently chilling out underneath. Those who are currently not on duty, occasionally passing around a flask of probably what is some form of, not water, shall we say. This isn't Dalinar's camp. This is Elhakar's castle. They are not quite as disciplined as Dalinar's soldiers. As you take a seat, is there anything that the three of you would be doing, anything that you'd be looking out for? Probably about 15 minutes before the runner returns, so
Yeah, I
let me
mean,
know.
straight away, Rav-eth is probably trying to figure out what the fuck's going on with these
Yeah.
lions. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to make for me a perception or deduction check? Your choice. Actually, I'd also allow crafting. I would allow crafting if you wanted to as well.
Deduction is a bit stronger, so I will roll.
Same for
I'll
Alaran
roll
and
deduction,
Neivien, if there's anything you guys wanted to suss out.
I think Navene's just in a state of excitement. She hasn't met royalty before, and she's been kind of looking forward to this. So she's just kind of chilling.
Alaran's the opposite to that in that this is like the home of problems in his eyes, and he's like, I just gotta sit down and shut up and pay attention, but not let the disdain on my face be seen, probably.
Yeah. Not a big fan of the Collins, are you?
Not right now.
Not right now.
To be fair, the Collins haven't come good yet. They're still all douchebags at this point.
Nah. Adolin and Renarin are always pretty lovely. Renarin's always lovely.
I feel like Adolin in my mind.
I know.
He's
me
probably
too.
the worst he could possibly be right now at this exact point in
No,
time.
he's all like, oh, come on. He's still pretty lovely.
Just
I know.
super foppish, and Renara was straight useless at this point in
Yeah.
time.
He hasn't
Yeah,
had
but-
challenge to sort of act like he's a good dude. He hasn't been humbled by anyone. He just is going around winning shard blades because he's thinking he's all that.
But compared to most of the other Light Eyes, I'm going to die on this hill. He is.
That is such a low bar.
I know. he still does things because they are right, not just because it suits him.
Yeah, like that first scene where
The prostitute is being
that's right.
accosted in the camps from Kaladin's perspective, and Adolin just comes in. I mean, yeah, he was pretty happy to humiliate Sadie's men, but I mean, there was also the right thing to do. He didn't have to do that.
Don't really want to go into spoilers, but there's been a few reasons that he has done not the right thing and has not been bonded by a friend. So,
I'm further ahead of the books than you, mate. I think.
well, yeah, but like at the point of like, not the last book.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He does some pretty bad things.
Nah, I like it.
Some people need savage.
I fully support that pretty bad thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing.
I
That needed to
thought that's
happen.
pretty bad
No.
too.
I actually love that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
love
got a
the
great
throwback.
he did.
Yeah.
But
That was that for me was like I was like, yeah, good man. Some people need it. No spoilers. As Rav-eth 11 on the deduction check.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of say what's going on here. Some sort of observational experiment is taking place. You've seen enough. I'd say, like, given your history with learning medicine and things like that, this is a scientific endeavor. There are people taking observational notes, and it looks like there are different people taking notes of different things. One Ardent seems to be focused on the wind. They've got a device that kind of spins, and they're looking at the spinning and counting the rotations of this red bar as it crosses the stick every time it spins, almost like a little fan blade. And they're taking notes of the wind speed. It's like there's definitely something going on here. Some sort of scientific observational experiment. But apart from that, it's hard to kind of say. It's at that moment you watch as over the top of the upper balcony, a wooden platform is slowly pushed, and it wobbles in the air for a moment, hovering, before suddenly dropping and crashing down to the courtyard below. There is a cry of alarm as people scurry out of the way. You watch as one of the scholars, a woman with her safe hand covered by a long sleeve, has to throw herself to the ground to avoid being crushed by a piece of shrapnel from the wood as it splinters. The guards immediately rushing forwards, pushing the people back, examining the cage of metal with a gemstone at its center. Something else was supposed to happen. You're not quite sure what, as you hear a few people swearing by the heralds. And then silence before the runner emerges back down the stairs, does a double take as he sees the chaos that's just emerged while he's been inside, and then runs back over towards the guard captain and the three of you. Hey, Brightness, Brightlady Navani, is ready to see you now. Neivien and company. As he puffs a few times and then reaches down and takes a swig from the water skin.
Question: what is going on? Sort of points to Koya.
So the younger guard looks towards the chaos behind him, looks towards you and shrugs. The older guard, seeing this, kind of chuckles a bit and goes, Brightness Navani. Sorry, that's not the voice. Brightness Navani has been experimenting with a number of other scholars and researchers. Some have traveled from Thalanar recent days to test out a new fabrial. One that I believe is supposed to keep things stable and stop things falling. They've had mixed success. As he looks back towards the crashed wooden platform and then back towards you again, smiling a bit as he does so.
It's interesting. Any particular reason? Or just looking into things?
I tend not to ask questions. I am here to guard, here to make sure that no harm befalls them. Apart from that, they inflict upon themselves. As he looks once more behind you at the shattered remains of the platform.
That's fair enough. Yes. Okay. Well, if it goes well.
Seeing the experiment in action and its failure, and now hearing what it actually was that they were trying to do, that's probably going to start piquing Naivien's interest and kind of wake her up out of her little excitement fangirling moment. Can I roll for the fuck sort of fabrial is happening?
Yeah.
Deduction or crafting? Deduction or crafting, I'd say. This is definitely more in that wheelhouse.
Ooh, that's better.
21, Neivien. This is some sort of evolution of the span reed. A really clever evolution of the span reed, where two paired rubies can transmit the same information over long distances. Someone very clever is playing around with the idea to make a much larger device hover in place. Now, probably they're not relying on a group of people holding aloft a similar platform with a similar conjoined ruby. There's something else at play here. They're playing around with... I mean, it seems impossible, but maybe there's some way to transmit more force through the link on one end than there is on the other.
The something can't support that. No wonder they keep cracking.
Yeah.
I bet that's why it fell down. I bet those gems, they just can't hold up to that. She's kind of talking to herself, but also to the others, not expecting that they would understand.
No, like Rav-eth nods, like, no, that checks out. I agree.
You know about fabrials?
Only what I've read in books and in passing. My studies are more into medicine and into fixing bodies. Not fabrials, but I've read the odd book here and there.
I didn't know we shared a joint interest.
Oh, it's I've read many things. It took me a while to find my interests in medicine, but I do have some passing interest in crafting. Fabrials is a little bit advanced, but I understand the basics of it.
I can understand for someone like yourself that it would be a little difficult to understand some of the nuances. But it sounds like you've got a pretty good grasp of the basics.
I'm not sure how to take that, but thank you, I guess. Yes, no.
You're welcome.
Accurate interaction with a bright eyes, with a light eyes. This is less insufferable than Adolin. Come on, you got to give me that.
Yes, that's very true.
as the three of you begin to make your way up the stone stairs towards the upper balcony, the journey upwards, you can hear voices speaking excitedly, echoing down the corridor until you finally emerge back into the light once again. The upper balcony is a hive of activity. You can see a number of women rushing around, carrying what look to be metal components designed to hold gemstones. But these have been twisted and changed, Neivien, from what you're used to. Rav-eth as well. These are very, very different designs. The gemstone's a bit larger than what you were expecting to see. And in the middle of it all, speaking to many people at once, dressed in a beautiful, almost like midnight blue hava, is Navani Colin. Her greying hair tied back into a very tight bun, wearing on her safe hand a glove, Neivien. The shock of it. The Queen Mother. Her safe hand almost uncovered, just covered by a glove, is currently speaking with a number of scholars and ardents, excitedly pointing, discussing. A younger woman by her side taps her on the shoulder and points towards you as the three of you emerge into the sun. Blinking a little bit as you look around, she smiles, gives you a wave, Neivien, and holds up a finger, and talks for a few moments with the ardents before striding over towards you. Her hava dragging along the ground behind her, occasionally picking up a little bit of dust and kicking behind her as she walks on over, standing before the three of you, a little group of people behind, not wanting to get too far away from her. She gives you all a very warm smile. Well now, welcome. Neivien, was it?
Yes, my lady, I bow quite deeply.
I have read the correspondence from your tutor, from your sponsor?
Yeah, I would call her a sponsor, yes.
And I must say I am somewhat surprised at the last correspondence I had with Navish was, how to put this? Rather heated. And now she has sent you here asking for assistance? I must admit, you've caught me somewhat by surprise.
I'm sorry, my lady, I'm not privy to the conversations that you might have had. Brightlady Navani sent me on this errand saying that you had blueprints that I was to retrieve and take back to her. I'm sorry if there's some form of confusion.
No, it's not a problem. The last conversation we had via Spanreed, I had drawn up a number of the blueprints for her, at least as far as we had gotten in the designs. Are you sure you were sent here in person with this? This was surely a task that could have been done via Spanreed.
She said that due to the delicate nature of what I don't even know what it is that I'm supposed to be retrieving, if I'm quite honest, my lady. She said that due to the delicate nature of it, it couldn't be trusted to even the potential intermediary of the Spanreeds. I'm not.
But that is rather confusing. Perhaps I'll be one moment. I just need to speak with these. We're working on something very exciting. Just give me a moment. I'll be right back. With that, she gives you a nod. Again, Rav-eth and Alaran gives you a bit of a smile and a nod, knowing that she's being a bit rude, not introducing properly and giving you a chance to introduce yourselves, but also like she gives an air of someone who doesn't really care about that kind of stuff. Like she's just doing her own thing at the moment. As she turns back over, begins calling out to the others around. I think that is where we will leave things for tonight. That's probably a longer conversation than I think we have, and we have hit the 2-hour mark, which is perfect. Plus, I want to get back with Ztar and Hula as well before too long. So I think that is the perfect place to wrap up for tonight. Oh man, I'm so excited that we get to interact with our first major book character, who we will see a lot of. Navani, I've got.
Can we kill him?
Please don't. We are canon. I've said many times we are as canon as I physically can make us with this. Please do not push Navani off the top of this tower.
Why would you want to? Navani's great. We love Navani.
She's not that important.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why I'm letting you speak to Navani and not Sadie's, for example. Like there's very specific NPCs from the book that I have chosen to not expose you to. There's a number who you will never meet.
By far, at this point in time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. And consistently throughout, I would say as well. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. It has been absolutely wonderful coming back in and jumping back into Cosmere. So excited. The other exciting news I forgot to share at the beginning of the session, the Mistborn rule set, some of it was released along with some of the artwork. Oh, fucking yes. The artwork, which was, I think, released at Dragonsteel Nexus, the big convention that Brandon does. The artwork looks so good. It looks so good. I'm so fucking hyped for Mistborn. I'm so hyped. Good. I love Mistborn so much. It's going to be so sick. I've already started writing up. I've got 2 campaign outlines ready to go. One set pre-Final Empire, and one set in the Wax and Wane series in the Industrial Revolution in Era 2. So I've got an Era 1 and Era 2 campaign ready to rock and roll. I'm so hyped. Yeah, I'm beyond hyped for it. But look, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. We will see you all tomorrow night for more of our Tales from the Yawning Portal D&D adventure and our Return of the Giants homebrew adventure on Wednesday night. Loads more stuff to come. For those of you who've been enjoying the Minecraft playthroughs, good news! I got more Minecraft for you. I will record and have loads more Minecraft. The most Minecraft there can be. So please buckle up and enjoy that. That's all I have time for. Thanks so much, everybody. We will see you all again soon. Until then, stay safe, stay well. Have a good 2026. We'll see you all shortly. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.